So here's something wild. Almost every crypto exchange you've ever used was built for one thing: a human, staring at a screen, clicking buy and sell. OKX just did something different. They built one for the robots. I mean, an actual AI agent that holds its own wallet, reads data across 180 chains, and can trade for you while you sleep. And the part that made me sit up, OKX built the tool for it using an AI coding assistant, an AI helping build the thing that lets AI trade. But before you get starry-eyed, there's a twist, right? This is the same company that stood in a US courtroom 2 years ago, pleaded guilty, and paid about $500 million. So the question here is simple. Is OKX building the future of on-chain or making a very expensive bet too early? Let's get into it. Okay, so to understand where this AI stuff comes from, you have to understand the guy behind it. His name is Star Shu, and he is not a finance bro, right? He's a physicist. He studied applied physics in Beijing, worked as an engineer at Yahoo and at Alibaba, and even ran the tech at a document sharing site before he ever touched crypto. So this company was engineering first from day one. Back in 2013, he starts a little exchange called OKCoin. In 2017, it goes international as OKX. And then China happens. In 2021, Beijing basically bans crypto exchanges, and OKX gets pushed out of its own home country. Think about that. The company had to leave the place it was born. So in 2022, they rebrand from OKX to just OKX and reinvent themselves as a worldwide Web3 company. And that reinvention is the whole story, because instead of just running an exchange, Starshoe started repeating one line: everything will be on-chain. Self-custody is the future. So they build the OKX wallet, where you hold your own keys across more than 130 different blockchains. And that wallet, that's the seed that grows into everything we're about to talk about. So in 2026, OKX takes that wallet idea and cranks it up to a whole new level. They call it OnchainOS, and the tagline tells you exactly what they're going for. Built for AI, ready for Web3. Now think about what an operating system actually is. Your phone has one. It's the layer that lets apps do things without every app reinventing the wheel. That's the pitch. OnchainOS is meant to be the operating system for on-chain apps and AI agents, so a developer, or an agent, doesn't have to stitch together a dozen tools just to act on-chain. What does it bundle? 4 things, plainly. There's the Agentic Wallet, which holds the keys. There's Trade, which hunts for the best price across more than 500 decentralized exchanges. There's a market data layer that reads what's happening on-chain in real time. And there's Payments, so an agent can actually pay for things. And you install the whole lot with basically one line of code. Now here's a detail almost nobody covers, and I love it, because it shows how fast this space moves. OKX runs its own Layer 2 blockchain called XLayer. When it launched in 2024, it was built on Polygon's technology. But quietly, in late 2025, OKX ripped that out and rebuilt XLayer on the Optimism stack instead. So half the videos out there still describe it the old way, and they're just wrong now. On that XLayer, agent payments run with 0 gas fees, which matters a lot when you've got software making tiny payments all day long. Okay, this part genuinely surprised me. On top of OnchainOS, OKX shipped a thing called the Agent Trade Kit. And the tagline is just, think it, your agent trades it. Here's how it works in plain English. You connect an AI assistant, something like Claude or Cursor, to OKX using an open standard called MCP. Think of MCP as a universal adapter that lets an AI plug into real tools. And once it's plugged in, you can literally type in normal words, show me my balance, buy $500 of Bitcoin, set a stop loss down here, and the agent goes and does it. And here's the nugget that made me grin. It's open source and free. Anyone can read the code. And when you dig into who wrote that code, OKX built a big chunk of the Agent Trade Kit using an AI coding assistant. So an AI helped build the tool that lets AI trade. That's not fluff. It's right there in the project's history. Now, I want to be really honest, because this is where hype usually runs ahead of reality. This is not a reckless, let the robot loose situation. OKX fenced it in pretty hard. There's a demo mode with fake money so you can practice. There's a read-only mode where the agent can look but can't touch. And their own guide literally recommends you require approval, so every trade needs your yes first. And the keys themselves live inside a secure vault called a TEE, where the AI can trade but never actually sees the private key. Every transaction gets simulated and risk scored, and if it looks dangerous, it's blocked automatically. So the honest picture is powerful, but with the guardrails bolted on. All right, I promised you honesty up top, so let's talk about the elephant. In early 2025, the entity that operates OKX pleaded guilty in the United States to running an unlicensed money transmitting business. The bill came to roughly $500 million. And the ugly detail? Prosecutors said more than $5 billion in suspicious transactions had moved through the platform over several years, back when OKX claimed it didn't serve US customers, but quietly did anyway. That's the low point. But here's why this is still a fair, positive story. Look at what they did next. OKX cooperated and earned a 25% reduction on the penalty for cleaning house. Then they rebuilt, properly. They relaunched in the US with a real headquarters in San Jose and a new American CEO, and picked up one of the widest sets of licenses in the industry, a full European license under the new MiCA rules, plus Dubai and Singapore. And here's a small thing that tells you a lot. When North Korea's Lazarus hackers tried to launder stolen money through OKX's on-chain swap tool, OKX voluntarily switched the tool off to fix it. They took a live product offline rather than let it be abused. And they publish proof of reserves every single month. Their 45th report showed over $23 billion in verifiable assets. One more honest note. OKX brags about over 1 billion daily calls to its system. Impressive. But even outside analysts say that could be a handful of high-frequency bots, not 1 million real developers yet. The agent economy is real, but it's early. So where is all this going? Here's the wildest piece, and it went live in the summer of 2026. OKX launched a marketplace they basically describe as Upwork, but for AI agents. It's called OKX AI. One side is a marketplace where builders list their agents for hire. The other is a jobs board where agents post work and other agents get paid to do it. And they pay each other in stable coins, automatically, with no human in the middle. And here's the clever design choice. When two agents disagree about whether a job was done right, OKX doesn't play judge. They hand the dispute to a decentralized network they describe as a digital court, run by a partner called GenLayer. And you don't even need an OKX account to use it. For an exchange, deliberately making its flagship product account-free and non-custodial, that's a real statement. Now zoom out one more click, because this ties the whole thesis together. In mid-2026, OKX teamed up with Intercontinental Exchange. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, they own the New York Stock Exchange. The plan is to bridge crypto and traditional markets, eventually letting you touch tokenized stocks. So picture the arc. A Beijing startup gets kicked out of China, rebuilds as a Web3 company, survives a guilty plea, and ends up building AI infrastructure backed by the owner of the New York Stock Exchange. Star Shu put the vision like this. He said the coming decade will be defined by one-person companies that make over $1 million a year, because every individual effectively gets an unlimited workforce of agents. Whether he's right or not, that is a genuinely big idea. So let's pull it together. OKX is trying to turn a crypto exchange into an operating system for AI agents. It's real, it's live, and a lot of it is genuinely open and free. It's also early, and it's carried by a company that had to earn its trust back the hard way. Both of those are true at once, and that's okay. Now, the takeaway you can actually act on, and this isn't financial advice, it's a look under the hood invitation. The Agent Trade Kit is open source and completely free, and it ships with that demo mode. So, if you're even a little curious, plug it into an AI assistant and watch an agent place practice trades with fake money, $0 at risk. Read the docs, see how the machine works before the agent economy fully arrives. Because the people who understand this early, they're the ones who won't get caught off guard. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And drop a comment. Would you actually let an AI agent trade for you, or does that terrify you? I read every one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.